In this video, I'll try and break down the costs. So two things. I'll try to break down the cost and give you a suggestion on how to actually come from Zambia to Nairobi, Kenya, easier and much more stress-free, because actually the way transport is structured along this particular corridor going down to Lusaka, it's very hectic. And it's very hectic because of one thing, because of Zambia itself, because Zambia is actually the weak link in terms of infrastructure in Southern Africa. Zambia and Zimbabwe are actually the two weakest link when it comes to infrastructure, and it's because their roads are terrible, so much potholes, but for you to actually, that means for you to come all the way up, you have to endure such a hectic ride just in between, within Zambia itself. But once you cross over, then it's much easier and it's much smoother. So let's get into it. First, your journey starts at Intercity. Intercity is the main bus terminus, I think. The main bus terminus in Lusaka. It's in the middle of Lusaka. And there are a few buses that actually come. So there are two ways you can come all the way from Kenya. All the way from Zambia to Kenya. Method number one is you can get a bus direct from Lusaka to Dar es Salaam. Those buses are very few, but then they are pathetic. You don't want to try that ride because your back will hurt like crazy. The journey itself is just stressful. You do not want to try that if you want it to be a stress-free ride. So there's a bus called SR Classic. Do not fall for their lie, because number one, comfort is non-existent to them. That should be a bus that carries luggage. It should be a cargo bus, not a human being bus. Bus number two is called Royal Luxury Africa. They attempted the first ride, did a lot of videos online. I saw a lot of videos online, and then somehow they just tanked. The last time I attempted it, we attempted it together, and it didn't work because somehow they said, one of their side mirrors had broken, and they wanted to go to South Africa. They had taken the bus to South Africa for repairs, and it has never come back. I've never heard of it either. We used to be able to book online, but now that bus is non-existent. I only see their shuttles. So do not try SR Classic or these other buses that claim that they come to Dar es Salaam direct from Lusaka. It's a big lie. It's hectic. Yes, we'll get there, but it's just hectic. It's not something that I would wish for anyone because I tried it, didn't work for me. So if this is what you want to do, my second method would be to do it bit by bit. And so the bit by bit would start in Lusaka, and you don't go all the way, don't go to Dar es Salaam. Don't go to Dar es Salaam. Come from Lusaka, get to Nakonde, or Nakonde is on the Zambian side, Tunduma is on the Tanzanian side. So it's a very interesting border name, Nakonde Tunduma border. So you would have to do from Lusaka to Nakonde, and then from Nakonde take a break, sleep, and then continue the next day. So the next day you can take a bus from there to the next side. So let's talk about Lusaka to Nakonde. Your journey begins from Intercity in Lusaka, And the bus that I used this time around was one called Juldan. The cost for this particular trip from Lusaka to Nakonde, they charged me 520 kwacha. 520 kwacha is about 3,300 Kenya shillings, or alternatively you would call it $21. Juldan is an interesting bus. As you can see, there was a lot of accidents on the road. I think the Great North Road is an international road, but with a lot of constrictions. So that's Juldan bus. That's one of theirs that had been stuck at this petrol station. That's the bus. The seats, the interior was just pathetic. Look at that. The chairs are just crazy. And then it's like they fill up with a lot of things. One of these mirrors is broken. That's where I was seated, and it was raining like crazy. As you can see, these are part of how Zambian roads look like. So the struggle is real. So the bus leaves Lusaka at 5 a.m. and arrives in Tunduma, Nakonde at 9 p.m. Zambians say 21 hours. So it was a whole day of a bus ride. So I arrived and went to sleep. I slept on the Tunduma side. So I took a boda boda to the Tanzanian side, and it cost me about 20,000 Tanzanian shillings, which is 200 kwacha or 1,260 Kenya shillings. In simpler terms, we say $8. Accommodation at this place was about 25,000 Tanzanian shillings or 250 kwacha or 1,575 Kenya shillings. In short, $10. So the next day I took a bus. The bus that you just seen is one called Shabibi. So this is a bus that will transport you from Tunduma to Dodoma. So it's easier for you to actually go from Tunduma to Dodoma. So I took Shabibi. Shabibi charged me 45,000 Tanzanian shillings. So 45,000 Tanzanian shillings is about 450 kwacha. Alternatively, you would say it's 2,835 Kenya shillings or $18. So for this amount, you move from the border of Tanzania and Zambia all the way to Dodoma. Dodoma is the interior of Tanzania. Here you will find a lot of things along the road. It's quite an adventure. That's a bus you should avoid. New road force, don't try it. The journey itself was very smooth. The bus driver was very considerate. I would say Shabibi is one of my best bus rides in Tanzania. Probably the second best, because I have the first one that is coming up, I'll tell you. So it's a bus that goes from the border to Dodoma. At Dodoma is where I would suggest you spend a night. So the road itself is quite smooth on the Tanzanian side. Not much of a hectic ride. The journey was very smooth. Along the way you get time they stop for about 10 minutes for you to get something to eat. They have very nice hostesses or hosts on the bus. Tanzania's bus service is showbiz. They're no jokes. That's us gliding through some parts of Tanzania. I think this must be in around Iringa area. The roads were very smooth. The drivers were very considerate. The stops were considerably longer. So I would say they saved 10 minutes, but about 15 minutes is how long it takes. So we stopped along the way, had something to eat, snacks to buy, and then we were headed out right away. That's the bus. It's called Shabibi line. Shabibi is very comfortable. It's an interesting ride. The seats are quite sturdy. It's very clean and very well maintained, and the roads are just marvelous. I mean, Tanzania is beautiful. This is in Iringa still. You pass through some very green and lush surroundings. So as I said, in my stay at the border, I spent about, that's $8, $10 plus $18 for the bus. So it was quite affordable. I'm all about telling you how to make these journeys much more simpler. That's the bus on the inside, and those are the places along the road. So yeah, so if you wanted to make it this far, Dodoma is much easier because you get a chance to rest up and then continue the next day, and it's much easier that way. This is part of Iringa. It's a place called Ruaha. There's a small town called Ruaha, so we passed around that area before the journey continued. Yes. Those are some of the areas in Iringa still. There you go. Beautiful Tanzanian flag. My God, the roads are just beautiful. From this patch going down, it's a winding road from here, and it's quite scary if you're afraid of winds, very sharp bends and sharp corners along this particular road. But yeah, the sky was very good on the Tanzanian side. The sun was up, unlike the Zambian side where it was raining like crazy and the bus was leaking. This one wasn't. This one was just very nice and relaxed. They had music playing on the bus. I haven't had as much bongo flavor as I did that day. This is as you enter Dodoma. That's the rail that we just passed. Karibu Dodoma, as you can see. That's Dodoma for you. It's quite an interesting town. It's probably gonna be the next big thing after Dar es Salaam. As you can see, that's Kambarage Nyerere Convention Center. These are some of the key buildings in Dodoma. That's the Central Bank of Tanzania. Apparently Dodoma is the capital now. Of course, administrative capital as it is. The economic capital still remains Dar es Salaam. That's the Jakaya Kikwete Convention Center. Welcome to Dodoma. That's Dodoma for you. It's a vibrant town, by the way. The roundabouts are massive. I used to think Kenya has massive roundabouts, but Tanzania has massive roundabouts. Yeah, that's as we entered Shabibi's bus terminal in Dodoma. They literally, it's such a nice company. They literally have their own terminal in Dodoma. So this is where I was going to spend the night. and wait for the next day. That's Shabibi buses, and Satco is neighboring Shabibi. That's their terminal. Quite comfortable not only on the bus but also they take care of you. If you want some nice chocolate, you go there. Yes, Dodoma, I met someone who introduced me to this guy who does nyama choma. And his beef was just, I mean, not even beef, this was goat. Heavenly. And then I spent a night at New EMS Lodge in Dodoma. The transport money, I mean the cost for going from the bus stop, the Shabibi bus station to New EMS Lodge, I spent about 10,000 Tanzanian shillings. And accommodation was about 25,000 Tanzanian shillings. That's 250 kwacha. The room was quite comfy, as you can see. The bed and the environment itself was just very good, pretty quiet, and very close to the main terminal in Dodoma. 250 kwacha is about 1,575 Kenya shillings, or alternatively $10 for the accommodation. I spent about another 10,000 on just simple travels here and there, moving around to visit Dodoma and get to see around town. That's in New MS from the main road. You can see the road is not too far. This is the Boda Boda guy the next day, taking me to the main terminal. The bus terminal here was supposed to now take me from Dodoma to Arusha. This time round I used a new bus, one of the buses that has been hyped up in Tanzania, and this bus is called Ngasere Classic. Is it Ngasere High Class? Ngasere High Class is just interesting. Listen to this lady here. She has a beautiful voice. The buses are very clean.
Safari yetu ya leo itakuwa na vituo vikuu vitatu. Kituo cha kwanza kitakuwa Babati, tutaingia hotelini kwa ajili ya kula na kuchukua dawa. Kituo cha pili kitakuwa Arusha, na kituo cha tatu na cha mwisho kitakuwa ni mjini Moshi. Wapendwa abiria, kama utakuwa na changamoto yoyote, tatizo lolote, tafadhali naomba usisite kuniita nami nitakuja kukusikiliza. Kama utakuwa na changamoto yoyote, shida yoyote au tatizo lolote, naomba usisite kuniita nami nitakuja kukusikiliza. Lakini pia kama utakuwa na changamoto ya kutapika, tafadhali naomba usitapike chini ya siti au dirishani. Utaniita, nitakupatia kifungashio kusaidia hiyo changamoto. Kama una shida ya kutapika, naomba usitapike chini ya siti au dirishani. Utaniita, nitakupatia kifungashio ili kuweze kusaidia kwa safari mpaka mwisho wa safari. Kwa niaba ya mkurugenzi wa Ngasere High Class na wafanyakazi wote wa Ngasere High Class, tunapenda sana kuwakaribisha na kuwashukuru sana siku ya leo kwa kuchagua Ngasere kama chombo chako cha usafiri. Mwenyezi Mungu awabariki na niwatakie asubuhi njema.
So Ngasere High Class is a very nice bus, very comfortable. The hosts are very lovely. The drivers very nice guys. From Dodoma to Arusha, they charged me 28,000 Tanzanian shillings, which is about 280 kwacha, or 1,764 Kenya shillings, or $11. This is as we entered Arusha. Very lovely town. town. So in my video I had said that I'll tell you how to go from Lusaka, Zambia to Nairobi, Kenya. So in Arusha, once you get to Arusha, the main terminal, you'll find buses there. The buses come earlier in the day, but if you don't find a bus from Arusha, you can choose to use a minivan or these small passenger vehicles. So these minivans charge about 7,000 Tanzanian shillings. 7,000 is about 70 kwacha. So since I wanted comfort, I paid 10,000 Tanzanian shillings so that I can be comfortable. 10,000 is about 100 kwacha or 630 Kenya shillings, or in simpler terms, again, $4. So this was transport to get me from Arusha itself, the town, to Namanga border. So as you are coming into Namanga border, you will see these hills. This is a forest reserve on the Tanzanian side, just before you get to Namanga border. Namanga is the border between Kenya and Tanzania. So as you arrive, you'll get to see some very lovely. So as you pass through this area, it's called Mount Longido. Mount Longido is about 26 minutes from Namanga border, and that's the Namanga one border stop between Kenya and Tanzania. So you get in, you get stamped that you have entered Kenya, and there you go. Welcome to Tanzania, but also welcome to Kenya on the other side. Before you know it, you are in Nairobi. But how do you get from Namanga to Nairobi? There are shuttles that transport people across the border. So these shuttles cost about 600 Kenya shillings. 600 Kenya shillings is about 98 kwacha, or 3.8 US dollars. Let's just say roughly $4. And you are there. Welcome to the concrete jungle of Nairobi, Kenya. So people, that is how to come from Lusaka by bus or by road to Kenya stress-free. Take it easy on yourself. Don't strain yourself too much. Enjoy Nairobi. So the total cost for this particular journey by road or by bus, public means, from Lusaka all the way to Kenya is about 2,400 kwacha, or rather about 15,000 Kenya shillings if you're going on the lowest side. In dollars, that would be about $100. So with $100, you would be able to make your trip by road from Lusaka to Nairobi, Kenya, and vice versa. You can actually do Nairobi, Kenya to Lusaka by road and just chill. One of the things that I didn't include for you guys is that I would highly recommend that even if you get to Arusha, so you travel from Dodoma to Arusha, chill. From Dodoma to Arusha is about 8-9 hours. Relax. If your body is not feeling it, relax. Do not strain yourself. This year, we are going for the softest life possible. So chill, spend the night in Arusha. It shouldn't cost you more than 20,000 Tanzanian shillings, or about 200 kwacha, or about what, about $10 to spend a night in Arusha. And you would actually get to see Arusha. Wake up the next day, go to some hot springs in Arusha, enjoy the sights, and just take it all in. And then after that, get yourself a Noah or a bus in the morning the next day, and come to Nairobi. So that's about it. That's how you are able to travel from Lusaka to Nairobi, Kenya, stress-free. The reason as to why I'm saying you can spend a night in Arusha is because it's only 3 hours from Arusha to Nairobi, Kenya. It's a very short distance. You can use their shuttles called Naikana. Naikana charges between 600 and 700 Kenya shillings. So once you pay that, you should be able to get to Nairobi and enjoy yourself. Get people that you know, and they should be able to host you, or you can spend a few Kenya shillings to find yourself a nice place to stay. So that's how you travel stress-free from Lusaka to Nairobi, Kenya.